This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, yes. So yesterday we seen, I would say we had taken a tour of our CI pipeline using Azure Pipeline, right? Or continuous integration using Azure Pipelines. Okay, and we struggled with the credits because we are using free tier basically. So and we send that request. I see they applied the credits yesterday itself. Generally they take around 2 to 3 days, but luckily they added credits yesterday itself. Let me show you. uh, I clear my cache and passwords. Let me, it's very difficult to remember all the passwords. So how do you check your the parallel jobs, availability of parallel jobs? You go to the organization settings and then go to this parallel jobs under pipeline section. So yesterday, if you remember, we got 0 here under free tier, 0 parallel jobs available and 0 minutes are available. Okay. Now if you see, I have got 1800 minutes of time to run my jobs. Okay, CI jobs basically. And currently, if you see, 2 minutes I have utilized. Yesterday I utilized. I mean, I ran it right. They included that one as well. So I left with 1798 minutes basically. Okay. So if I want more, I need to go and purchase parallel jobs. Okay. So each parallel job can run one job uh, in a CI pipeline. If there, you seen yesterday pipeline, right? You can add more than one job in a pipeline. If you want to run, if you let us think that you have two jobs in your pipeline, you want them to run parallelly, then you need to have two parallel jobs like that basically. Okay. So I have 1800 minutes for this month. So I'm done with, I'm good with my demos basically. Okay. And this is for Microsoft hosted agents. So when you use that infrastructure of Microsoft hosted agent for running your jobs. Self-hosted means your own server, right? Where you are installing your required software and pushing your code to build the solution. That's what self-hosted. For that also, they given one parallel job. Okay, and this is for private projects. Means only authorized people can connect your projects. You will have public projects as well. Means anyone can see it. It's unlimited. You can see, but still you need. It is unlimited for your self-hosted. But if it is Microsoft hosted, still even whether it is public project or private project, Microsoft need to provide the infrastructure, right? That's why they are not giving here for the Microsoft hosted. So we can go on request for that one also. Okay. So, but anyways, we don't work on public projects, right? So it's private project. I got it. Let me go to our project. You can check your credits as well like that. Yeah.
Una, parallel jobs. If we don't have any parallel jobs, then no need.
You, if you don't, okay, let me open this. So why we got this fail? Because there is no infrastructure ready to run your code.
Okay.
Okay, so infrastructure is nothing but there should be some server with all your prerequisite softwares, right? Your .NET framework, etc., etc. Okay, that is not available. Obviously, it will fail, right? Okay, so so for as I told you, they introduced it, in the last 5 6 months. So that's the reason all my older organizations are not affected. I can still go and use them without any request. Okay, all the new organizations that are getting created in the last from last 5 6 months, that are keeping this limit basically. The regions could be anything. They may want to see let's say a serious users, etc. Right? That's the reason. Okay. Yesterday we submitted and we got it. That's it.
My doubt is
So
like
Uh-huh.
In this, when you open that, in that the
Okay, let
parallel
me.
job, that parallel job is different, and the these parallel jobs are different.
Which parallel job?
You have
One
added
second.
one API, right? For
That's what I'm coming. That's where let me tell you. See, you have this pipeline. This is
yeah,
entire your CI pipeline. Okay, under that you can add a multiple jobs. Okay, job one, job two, job three. But for our better understanding, we are giving a meaningful name. We are saying, hey, this job basically build the application of a web. Okay, and I will have one more job saying that, hey, build the some API. So there might be a number of jobs requirement. Okay,
yeah,
or there might be, let us say, middleware. Okay, which they might have written in another project, right? We can build it separately. It depends on the development requirement basically. In that case, what I'll go and say add a job, and I'll say, as it gives some name, micro services. Okay, uh, save it basically. Okay, like this I added. So like this, you can have a n number of jobs within your own CI pipeline. Now, what's the difference? If I have only one parallel job in my organization, let me open organization settings. Okay, right now I have only one parallel job here, right? Okay, so if I have one parallel job, what happens when I queue this, or in our general words, when I build this solution, these jobs will run one by one. They will not run parallelly. Like web will start and then microservices will start, like that. It will be done in sequence basically. Not only this one. Let us say that there is some other project in my organization under your planner. I am working on, my team is working on online reservation system. There might be some other team as well, right? Who is working on some other application, right? So they will have their own DevOps project under this organization. Okay, and they will also have some CI pipeline. Now what happens? I started this, uh, CI pipeline. It started running basically. Okay. Now, if the other project started running their CI pipeline, they will have to wait till my job completes basically.
oh,
So
okay.
that will be in queue. That will be in queue. Okay. So if you have two parallel jobs, what happens? While my CI pipeline is going on, their CI pipeline also will get started. So you can run multiple projects in parallel or multiple jobs in parallel. Not only that, not only that. Let us say in my or in my project itself, I have a, so this is a CI pipeline, right? I will also have a CD pipeline, right? So when I start this CI pipeline, it start building it. Let us say it could be some dev branch, but some some DevOps engineer. This is for code quality analysis. But some DevOps engineer, what they do, they need to release deploy code to some environment. They use release one branch, so that will be in another pipeline basically. So while this is going on, though they run that CD pipeline, that will not start because I have only one parallel job. So they have to wait till this complete basically. So that means based on the if you have only one parallel job, you can run only one pipeline or one job at a time. It cannot be parallel. Okay. I have some notes for you. You guys can take care. I mean, it gives you you can use it for your memory basically. Okay. You can take a screenshot and you can use it. Okay. But that's it. It's all about parallelism basically. Nothing to do with your project. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and do. Let's build it. Actually, we did not do anything yesterday, right? But before we build it, what I'm thinking, I have added the API project in the, what is in dev, right? Let me see.
Yes, for now.
Just I'm just double checking. Yeah, I have in dev. So what I'm trying to do, let me edit this. So I just want to change the branch from master to dev. Okay, so that I have the other project as well. Of course, in general, each and every branch will have the same thing, but we haven't merged this dev branch with the master. So that's the reason you don't have the API project in the master. Okay. Now let me queue it first. So it's just a preview of what you have basically. Just go and run it. Now you see here two jobs. Web is one job and microservices one job. Both are queued now because your Microsoft has to, I mean, your Azure DevOps has to prepare that agent in the backend, right? Agent means your virtual machine uh, to run these services. So obviously it takes some time. You can see the time here, 7 seconds. You see, microservices started here. Now succeeded, and then web will be started. You see, I mean, in a few seconds. Click this. Yeah, it is still, now it is also started. Okay. Now you see, I mean, they are going in parallel. Okay, I did not give any dependencies. That's the reason, uh, it took the job randomly to build it. Actually, if I keep some dependencies, it will go in sequence. You know what is the dependency I'm talking about, right? Yesterday I shown one property. This job depends on some other job. If you see, I'll show you one second. Let it be complete. So this is the place. Say when you click on the job, you will come to this log window. It will show you each and every activity what is happening during this build stage basically, and you can see clearly see the commands as well. What commands it is using. So we are basically configuring it in the UI, right? But you can see those commands here. This is about general information about your task, and after that this what is this task is doing Nuget 441. It is basically downloading downloading this nuget.exe into the agent. Okay, and then it is doing some caching, etc. It is using this version. Okay, basically this is the path where that is downloaded, and some path is uh, some environment setting is done for this one in that invisible Microsoft hosted agent. And after that this is completed, finishing Nuget 441. After that we have this Nuget restore. So here what it is doing, you see a lot of things, and I go here, it is basically downloading each and every reference what we have in the .NET project. So the extension will be nuget.pkg. See, you can see added package. Okay, it will give you the entire what is it, it gives the entire history. So let me see why this is failed. Okay, so build solution is failed. Sorry, it is actually the compilation is successful. Okay, guys, you spend some time to it's all about copying your content from your repos to the virtual machine. Means Microsoft don't use a name called virtual machine, use it as a hosted agent basically, copying your files and then so it does a lot of stuff in the back end, right? So it does all that stuff. It explains. Mostly we will come and see here if there are any errors. okay, where it failed, etc. Okay, a lot of things. I mean, even nobody knows it. Okay, because it happens in the back end, right? Even when you work in the Visual Studio, you never go and see all these things, isn't it? Okay. Now let's see why is this test assemblies is failed. It is saying test run failed. Okay. See, you don't debug it, but at least what generally you do, if developers, basically we give read access to this CI pipeline to the developers, and probably some lead developers or architects, you will give execution privilege as well to this job actually. Okay. Let me see what is this fail. I mean, just for our one test case is failed. Okay, you can say total test test 3, 2 passed, 1 failed. Okay, and finally it is saying so only this step is failed basically. Solution is built because one task is failed, the entire you know job is also failed. Okay, let me go and see in the Visual Studio what is that. So this is what you tell the people, right? I mean, or you download this log, you see this, you, you click on the view log, and then you can give this entire log to the developers. But since we are the developer, I am the developer, I am the DevOps engineer. Let me go and see this. What is this? Okay, so this is where the test cases will be there. Generally, test cases will be identified like this. The code will be same, whatever they write in normal projects also. Uh, Everything is same. The only difference is these are the methods. They decorate the test cases with the test method, and test classes with test class. That's it. That's the only difference. And they use some other libraries. Okay, now how a developer will do it basically? He can go and run this basically. Okay, we go to tool, test basically, test. When you say open test explorer, it will display all those test cases here basically. How many test methods are there? That many test cases will be visible here. If you see 3, okay, nothing is run, right? Let me try to run this. So you can run.
Now your screen is on full screen mode, or
Mine is in full screen. What happened? You guys
uh,
don't see? I can see
yeah,
preview correctly.
okay,
In my preview, it is showing full screen only. Any problem with others?
yeah, it's fine. I
Yes.
mean, like, it's somewhat small.
Oh, is it? Maybe your resolution, Kiran. Sorry, Sahul. Because I see in my preview, right? I see preview how it is appearing basically. It is
Okay,
showing me full.
yeah, I'll change my setting.
Okay. Now we ran this, right? Here also two test cases passed, one failed basically. So the abort is failed. I tell. Let me see it. Why this test case is failed? Let me check. So basically, test case is nothing but comparing actual value with the expected value, right? That's the test case. Let us say you give a user ID password. Let us say user ID password is a Sahul password. Okay, if that is not the actual one in the expected one in the database, then your things will fail. So that's how the test cases works, right? So The expected text is your application description page. It looks like the actual content is different. Your application description page for search functionalities, both are different. That's the reason it failed basically. So where do you see that? This is the test method they have, okay, for the developers. Okay, what these guys are doing, sorry, if you don't know development, don't worry. So what these guys doing, they taking where is that? Yeah, this one basically about, okay, they taking this text. This is a, I mean, demo unit test cases, right? They actual developers might have hundreds of lines here, not hundreds, but with 10-15 lines maximum. But end of the day, success or failure is what important for us, right, to verify. Okay, so they are looking for your application description page, okay, in the about page, but I they got it different. So if I go to your web, and then so we have the content in home, and then about. So I mean, naming convention, they keep it consistent so that we can easily identify about. Okay, what I have is additional information today. I can still check it again. I forgot that one. Where is that? Let me run that again. I forgot that. Okay. I can repeat the last one as well. Or sorry, go to Test Explorer. See it. It will give me the place as well, right? Why am?
If I remember, for microservices also, we didn't add any test case, right? I mean,
Yeah, no,
test.
no. Yeah, we did not add it because
Oh,
we don't need much, right?
okay.
Uh, where is this? I'm just looking at. It is a home controller test dot about. Home controller test dot about. Okay. Let me close this. About, yeah, this and that is different basically. Okay, I think I might not have the latest here. Let me take the latest because I see different text there basically. Go to Team Explorer, changes, sorry, not changes, sync. Let me see if there are anything. Fetch, there are nothing. Let me take this whatever it is here, about.cshtml. This is different in any case. Let me paste the same thing. Now actual and expected both are same. Let me build this here. Okay, and let me run the test cases. From where it is taking? Search functionality September 24th changes. Where it I'm not sure where it is taking. Let me clean this solution. Clean solution. Okay, three projects, three succeeded. Let me rebuild solution. Okay, rebuild is also succeeded. Now let me run the tests. This is a strange way where it is running this. I don't have this change. Let me September 24th. Let me see the history of this one. Why? And it is taking some time. Don't worry. Let me do the history. Yes. Why it is different to some other thing? I am not understanding. Let me remove this, for the time being, to so that our demo will continue, because I don't want to fix these things. I just commented this test method. That means uh, rebuild this. That means this method will not come as a test case, test unit test case basically. Let me go to Test Explorer. Now you see only two methods, right? The abort has gone because I commented the test method. Now that is not at all a test case now. Okay. To just continue our work basically, I did that. Okay. Commit, because this is a developer will fix it, right? So, this is okay. I updated this change to our remote repository. Now since this error has come, let me show some of the properties what I need to show. So when this test, see everything is running in sequence, right? This the tasks, whatever is the task order in your pipeline, in the same order everything is running basically. After test assemblies, when test assemblies is failed, this task is failed. This next task is exited. You see, this is skipped. Okay, this symbol is skipped actually. Okay, the reason, uh, each and every task will have some two common properties, right? One is uh, run this task only when the previous task is succeeded. That is the one. Okay, let me show that. So how I can run this even the previous test is failed? You can see that. uh, Let me go here and then edit. If you go here, right, actually we if you go to control options, only when all previous tasks have succeeded, run this task only when all previous tasks have succeeded. Okay. If you take the other one, run this task even if a previous task has failed unless the build was cancelled. Okay. If you select this one, this task will run even though previous task is failed. Okay. Or any task is failed basically. The other option, only run this task only when a previous task is failed. That means let us say this task is failed, but this task was successful. That still this task will run. So these are the options you can. This is a self-explanatory. Okay, that is the reason it's been skipped actually. Okay. uh, if I select this one, then what happens? If I select this option, what happens? Even though my previous task is failed, it will still run actually. Okay, so that's how you can use this control options basically, the last one. Okay, and that is the same for everything. See, only when all previous tasks have succeeded. Most of the times, this is the use case, because if this task is failed, what does it mean? It is not able to download the required libraries. Then, if you don't have required libraries, then obviously it will be failed. If you still run it, it will fail basically, right? Because when you build your solution, you don't have the required libraries. Obviously, it failed. Why to run it when you don't have the prerequisites successful? Right? So but in some cases there might be some some requirements. That's the reason they give this option. If developer tell you, hey, I want this task to be running irrespective of the success of other tasks. If he tells you like that, then you go and take that option. Okay, got it? Any doubts there?
No problem.
Okay, so now since my project is updated, let me go and save this configuration because I opened it. If I queue it, obviously the project will, I mean, the pipeline will be successful. Now we see both are queued. So if you want to see the logs, what you need to do, you need to click this. So this is your summary page basically. Hey, uh, what is the repository in this CI pipeline? Time, what are the work items? Okay, code test and coverage. We will see it. Now let it run it. It is successful. Now probably it is getting started. If you go and read all these things, you will understand what actually your CI pipeline is doing in each and every task.
Poonam, by default, it is considering this Nugget, right?
Yeah. So for .NET, it is Nuget. Okay,
Okay.
or or you can use your own store as well. But your own store will not have all the things, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
Nuget
you have mentioned this Azure,
artifacts
not Azure, yeah, Azure Artifacts also, right?
that we will
In
come.
that,
That we will come. Yeah. So this
okay,
is a separate topic. Okay. Uh, the
okay,
scenarios will be different. Okay. Either I can
okay,
use artifacts or Nuget as well. The scenarios are different. I will explain that because it takes some time for this.
okay. I mean, like the system, I mean, the process itself considers automatically what is useful, I mean, what is required for it.
And no, you are mentioning, see, one, so when you use this Nuget restore, right? First, you are
Yeah,
downloading this installer into that environment, hosted agent, okay?
okay,
And then you are
okay,
applying this command. When you apply this
okay,
command, it will have some reference, right? Where it go and look? It will go and look into your packages.config.
okay,
Uh, Let me go. It will go and look here basically. So if there is an entry here, then it will go and download it. Okay.
okay,
And as there are other than these packages, every reference is mentioned here. But here you see more than 20-30 references, right? System.drawing, system.net.app, okay, system.web, etc. Okay. But here you see less number of package entries. So why here, why these are not matching? I tell you. Whatever you see system, etc., right? These are part of your .NET installation or your
okay,
Visual Studio. Basically, when you install Visual Studio, your framework is also getting installed. But if you go back to 7-8 years ago, we used to install first .NET framework and then install the Visual Studio, two separate installations. Now Microsoft made it very simple from last 5-6 years. When you install Visual Studio, it will go and download the pre-requisites as well. It is not asking you basically. Okay,
yeah,
so so some of these are part of your .NET. I mean, .NET framework. Some you need to basically explicitly download it because for ASP.NET projects means web projects, you need the ASP.NET libraries. Okay,
okay,
and these JSON converters, etc. And I downloaded I mean Bootstrap, etc. Let us think that you are having some API project where it is a microservice or some API, right? Why do they need Bootstrap? This is about HTML, right? Bootstrap is for the HTML. I mean, how, I mean, to format your UI basically. They don't need it. That's the reason whatever is common libraries for all the projects, they will be downloaded by default and it will be taken care by your project in the solution basically. Whatever is
okay,
not common, that's where your Nuget comes into picture. People go and download and add it to the references. Okay,
Okay.
and those will get added to this packages.config. That's the difference. Why you see more here, why you see less here. Some are
Okay.
taken care by the framework, some have to be taken care by you. If it is from Nuget, all those entries will be added here. And your task also, if I go and edit this task, right, I have in another page, right? Let me keep that there. See, every run will become one entry here in the history you see. Basically, the format here is date, sorry, year, month, date, and the number, how many times it has run, and the comment, what is the last comment basically in that repo. If you go and see, you are using this nuget.exe software. Under that, you have some commands, restore command you are using, and where it is going and checking for that, it is going to check packages.config under this solution, your journey.solution. Okay, and if it is a .NET core, it will go and search for project.json or launch.json like that. Okay, and what is to be used, I explained it in the yesterday. So it is going to use the feeds or packages from this your planner. uh, I can use my own nugget as well. Okay, so when I come to this Azure artifacts, we'll concentrate here. Okay, for the time being, you just think that you are taking it only from the nugget. Okay. Okay, so you now you see in the control options. Okay, now let's go and so every time when I run it, microservices is being run in advance, right? Now if I want to put some order, I can use these dependencies. As I told you, right, I would say, hey, run this microservices project only after web. You getting me? Dependencies basically. So when I do this, let me go and save it, save queue. Just run this now. Now web should be running basically first. The environment is getting prepared. No, just started. 5 seconds. You see, this is started. Web. You can see in progress or running, right? This has started. Earlier, microservices started, right? That job. Got it? The property of this one. Let it run basically. Once it is run, now this will be run basically. It is under queue because okay, because of the dependency property. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now let it run basically. I can cancel this one as well. Okay. Let me cancel it. Are you sure you want to cancel this? Yes, I cancel it. Okay. So it is cancelled. Okay. The build was cancelled by Purna. Okay. Uh, and obviously it will give some error. It is cancelled. Okay. Now go back to, it is cancelled. That's why it is showing cancelled basically. Okay. Let me go and edit this. You can change all these things as well. Like right now it is showing 2021 like this, right? The title of this uh, job run basically you can change it. Okay. You will be, I mean, basically by this time you should be getting some emails as well, because email alerts are on for this. I mean, I shown in the notification page in the starting basically. So let me, yeah, email should be coming in. You see, because these are the default emails that you get it. You see everything in this email. So the details, summary, what is the pipeline name, when it is started, finished, who started, and the reason is, so it is a manual build. Means manual means though all the steps are automated using task and job, I am still going keep clicking on the queue. That's why it is a manual build. It ran for 71 seconds, so I got all those emails, you see. And then you see something like, build succeeded, and that, and some format here as well. Okay, build failed. This is the build which is failed. Okay, you can see all the commits in that build, basically how many commits are there till the build run, basically. Okay, so likewise you will get emails as well. Okay, so it is showing manual, right? Manual execution, that's what it is saying, right? What is, where is that? Manual run, basically. Okay, even if you come here, it is completed anyways. Let me go here. Let me see all the, you can use the breadcrumb. This is easy to navigate, right? So manually triggered. Okay, but in general, or ideally, uh, for these, these are the development branches or feature branches, etc., right? You don't need to do it manually, you need to make it automated. Okay, how do you make it automated? Let's see. You click on edit this pipeline. When you edit pipeline, basically edit the definition of your pipeline. Go to triggers. Okay, right now you can see continuous integration. Under that, your journey is presently continuous integration is disabled. For this, I say enable continuous integration. Okay, uh, I'll explain. Enable continuous integration right now. Default to dev, basically. Okay, what is continuous integration? Now let's understand. So when you the true definition of continuous integration I explained in earlier. Let me put pure bullet points here. Okay, build your CI pipeline whenever a push happens to the remote repository. Okay, and this have to be combination. Okay, unit test cases should be run. Code quality should be analyzed and measured. Use code quality gates. Code quality gates, we will define it in the sonar gate. Okay, and finally, if unit test case fail, then fail the build. I would say rather than unit test case, even I would say quality gate uh, at a ideal level. If quality gate is failed, then fail the build. That means there are no issues with respect to code in your project or solution, but you did not follow the best practices. This we will do it in the later classes, but let's see the first two parts. So when somebody asks you what is a continuous integration, you have to say that, hey, we have to build the CI pipeline or run the CI pipeline whenever a push is happen to or changes happen to your code, and unit test cases should be run, and we have to run the quality gates in the sonar cube, and based on the quality gate you have to make your build successful or failure. So if anything is missing here, then that is not a true continuous integration. Many projects do not have the unit test cases project because that is a time consuming activity. But if you don't have unit test case project, that means you are compromising with the quality, basically. So but for you it doesn't matter whether they create it or not, but for you as a DevOps engineer, these steps are important. Okay. Now, when I did this enable continuous integration and then save it, let me save this. Okay. In the branch filters, what is it? Basically, I enable this continuous integration only for the dev base. Okay. Now, the moment I go and make some change here, So nothing is running before you can come and see, right? In pipelines, nothing is running, right? You can see this is the last one 8 minutes ago. Now let's go and make some change anywhere. Okay. CI changes, and then you team explorer, go here, click on changes. This is the developer part, right? They are making some changes. As soon as this developer pushed this one to remote repository, done, successfully pushed to origin slash dev. Let's go to your, let me go and refresh this page. You see, pipeline is triggered. You see, it is queued now, just now. And 2021-11-06, it is the fourth run today, basically. Started, right? If you want to see the more details, click this. It will take you to this log details page. Understand how you can trigger your CI pipeline as soon as a code change is made in the remote repository. Now all the unit test cases, everything will be successful. So this is automatic trigger, and you call it as a continuous integration. But this will be a true continuous integration when all these four steps are available in your pipeline, basically. Okay. Right now we are only till here. We have to do this too as well. Clear? How do you enable continuous integration?
Yes.
Okay. So while it is running, let it go. Basically, we don't need to wait for here. Okay. Let's go here and edit the definition. You can edit while it is running as well, not a problem. Because this, it's basically it's already copied code and started triggering, right? Go to triggers. So you can run. See, in many, it's very common that your code base will be very huge, basically. Okay, you will have at least 10-15 projects in a single solution. So sometimes what happens, it may take, I would say, 20-30 minutes as well to complete the build process, because it takes a huge time. So what many teams will do, they will run this job at scheduled intervals as well, mostly at 12 o'clock, night, or 1 o'clock. So they build it. So why they build it? If there are any issues, will those issues will be notified to the developers via emails, right? Every developer will get an email because they are part of your contributors, etc. Okay. So you can schedule the job as well. You can say, you can select your time zone. So what is our time zone here? UTS, UTC, yeah, Chennai, UTC plus 5:30. Run this job on all these 5 days. Uh, and this is the time zone at, let us say, uh, is it it's a 24 hour, it looks like. Yeah, if it is 24 hours, then I will take 1 hour. Means at 1 o'clock, uh, this job will be run, basically. Only schedule builds if source or pipeline has changed. What this guy is saying, if there is any change, then only run this job and uncheck this one. Whether there is change or no change, go and execute this job every day at 1 o'clock in the morning. So likewise, you can uh, configure. I mean, you can schedule the CI jobs as well. Okay, this is one thing. And if you go to the options, you are getting this build formats, right? Like, what is in the email as well. 2021. This is not that meaningful, right? You can customize it as well if you want. And this is what you see in history as well, right? So if I go to, sorry, pipelines. go to this pipe. So this is what you see here as well, and whatever you see here is getting emailed as well. You can format it, as I said. Go and edit it, and options. Right now this is a build number format. Okay, so it is using date, 4 wise mmdd, and then revision means the actually what is getting executed. If you want to append something here, you can go and append as well. Let us say I want to add some string basically. Let us say our project name as well, online reservation system. Okay, likewise I can do it, and the list of variables can be identified. I mean, uh, so you can use, you can use some variables as well. Right now I used some string. Okay, anyways, I have the date and I have the revision number. I'm appending this one as well. Now if I go and save, and then queue, now it will show differently. You see in the top already 2021 uh, October 6th, and then this is the fifth run basically. That is what revision, and I added this online reservation system CI, right? Right. This is changed, isn't it? So that's how you can edit how it looks like as well. And there are other options. You can go and check. So these are by default options. It will go and update your Azure boards, right? With this pipeline is succeeded, successful, etc. in that branch basically. These are default ones. And you have one more thing here. Create work item on failure. You see, right now it is disabled. Okay. What happens if you enable this one? It can create a work item in your Azure boards whenever this bill is failed basically. Okay. Let us say if you enable this. So what it is saying? Task is a task will be created in your Azure boards whenever this is failed. Other than that, you can say a bug. You can create a bug. Okay. You can add some fields. It looks like some additional fields assigned to requester, and I think you can add a few more things. First, let's see this. What those additional fields? I don't remember. Okay. Oh, okay. You can use this itself. Okay. But let me see this. Okay. Let me save this first. A work item will be created or not. We'll see. Bug work item when it failed. We need to fail it first, right? So to make it fail, what we can do as a as a DevOps engineer for testing, I would say go here, edit definition. I think if I skip this uh, task, obviously this will fail. That's what I'm thinking. Let me go and disable this task. If it is disabled, you can see like this. Cross one, save, and then queue. So this is very much useful. I mean, you are basically making or creating a bug and build failure automated basically. You don't need to tell someone or email someone, hey, this build is failed, go and create a bug in the system so that a developer will look into that. We don't need all those things even for tracking purpose. It is done automatically. You see, build solution failed because it doesn't have the prerequisites, right? Your Nuget restore has to download all the prerequisites. Okay, it is failed. Okay, now let's go and see the work item. Let me open in a new tab. Okay, uh, let's go and filter for box basically. How do I? Oh, here you see already. A build 2021 11006 online reservation system failed and it is assigned to a requester Purnake. Okay. Now people can go and add any additional information here. Okay. Okay. You can find all this information. We see how you can automatically add a bug. Is that this is a useful one? Clear? Let me go to our pipeline, edit. Is that clear in the options? You can go and read these things, for your information. And these are job cancellation, how much time it has to wait uh, to run the job, etc., etc. Okay. Triggers you seen it, and I will explain it further. You can add more and more as well. Okay. You can enable continuous integration even on multiple branches as well. Let us say hotfix branch. Okay. So you may think that, hey, okay, but the first question you should ask is, okay, basically my CI pipeline, okay, is pointed to dev branch, right? So then how it helps if I have another branch specified here? What I'm specifying here, hey, enable this continuous integration for both the branches, dev and Kiran hotfix train search branch as well. But in my pipeline definition, I have only dev branch. So how it will work? So there are some advanced options that we need to see. Okay, and we'll do a double click of test assemblies, and we'll get into the sonar cube tomorrow. Okay, so you can practice these things basically for today, whatever you saying, and these control options, etc. Okay, and then parallelism, etc. Yes, is that clear?
Yes, Purna.
Hello.
Yes, Purna.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if you have any doubts before we talk. Okay, then we'll catch up tomorrow and we'll get into some advanced concepts. Once we're done with Sonar Cube, right, that's where you can think that you learned a lot. Okay, Sonar Cube is very important in continuous integration pipeline. So that's all about code quality analysis. Okay,
Okay.
but before that, you need to understand all these areas. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Purna.